This isn't about the first time I shroomed. That was when it wasn't really mushroom season and they were weak. But my first times did prepare me for what to expect and let me know how much would be too much. I live in southern Oregon, and we've got mushrooms, boy howdy. Although there are many different kinds of good shrooms, people only sell one kind here. I don't know what they are called, but they have red caps and white stems. Anyway, I fried on acid twice and had minor shroom trips like 5 times, and let me tell you now, don't eat the whole 8th your first time. Shrooms are a very manipulative thing. If you don't know what's going on, when you lose reality, it can be very scary the first time. Then that builds on itself, and your whole trip becomes, what did I just do? Say that I don't know I said? Did that sound stupid? Is everyone looking at me? Do I look bad? And the dreaded, how long was I gone? Etc., etc. This is about the time I really fried on an 8th I split with my friend Mary, and her friend I had just met that was going to fry off a half-8th too. It was going to be her first time. I don't remember her name, so I'll call her Jennifer. She really wanted to fry but was kinda afraid. We told her all about our times, and what acid was like, and how they compare. She got really into it and couldn't wait. We were going to Mary's house. Her 2 stepbrothers and real brother were going to be there, but they were cool, and except for her real brother, had all shroomed a lot before too. Jennifer was just meeting them for the first time too. We ate our half-8ths when leaving Jennifer's, and it took about 15 minutes to get to Mary's from there. We went out to her patio and just started kicking back, waiting for the shrooms to kick in. We knew it was happening 'cause everything was getting really, really funny. Something would be funny for 5 minutes, and it compounded, and everything that happened during that 5 minutes was funny too, so we'd laugh harder and harder. And then, all of a sudden we all just stopped laughing, and took a deep breath and looked up. The evening summer sky was the most breathtaking shades of purple and blue and pink. The clouds were 3D. Mary had a trampoline, and we all jumped on it. When we stopped jumping, our brains felt like they still were inside our skull. We thought that was hill diddly Arius. Then we got in my car. I can tell when I'm too fried to drive, and at this early point, I was okay. We went right down the street to a supermarket to watch people. Not just any people, sober people. It was totally beyond us to remember or feel sober. There was a sale sign for beef, and we kept saying the word over and over. It sounded so funny to us. Then they dared me to go in the store and get something to drink. Walking down the aisles, my body felt foreign, like I was an alien who stole a body to live in. I had to fight with all my reduced mental strength not to laugh at everything and everybody. I felt like everyone was staring at me. I got through the line without incident, and was very proud of myself for doing so. I felt like I had taken a huge step in my development as a human being. When we got back to Mary's, she wanted to get high. Her brothers loaded a huge bong of green bud. Our fry had pretty much been coming down for a while then, so I felt okay to do so. We were passing the bong hose, and then all of a sudden I just knew I was done. No more for me. Jennifer seemed to have been really following my lead in the house as far as how to act and stuff, so she said she was done too. Even when I would sit in her brother's room and just get high. I don't know them very well, I always felt self-conscious around them. This made frying hard, because after getting stoned, we were sent back to Wonderland twice and hard and fast as before. And we were in a room with no windows, and just some music and everyone just sitting around looking at each other. Mary had left to help her parents with something in the living room, and I was responsible for Jennifer's well-being. She was even more self-conscious since she didn't know them, and I had to try to keep myself in the here and now, and her also. And she wasn't easy. She was fried off her rocker. She kept asking if her head looked crooked. We had looked in a mirror earlier when we first fried, and she commented she thought her jawline was crooked. I was almost fried out of my head too, so I kept wishing Mary would come back and save us. I told the boys to turn the music to something other than Pink Floyd, which they gladly and quickly did, because they could tell Jen was in trouble. That totally changed her mood for the better. She started laughing about stuff, but then whenever we stopped talking, she would get upset again. Then she started talking to herself, or someone she thought was there, and laughing. I thought maybe we could watch some South Park tapes. Bad idea. I couldn't keep myself from thinking that was the way the world was, and everyone outside that room was a South Park character. I also couldn't keep a stupid smile off my face. Every word that they said was funny. Jen totally lost it. When a South Park character talked, she thought they were talking to her. She would answer, and ask, "What do you mean? "What are you talking about?" and mumble some incoherent stuff she probably didn't even know she was saying. Anyway, I could not take being in that tiny windowless room anymore. I had to leave. I knew I needed to get Jen out of that room too, but she couldn't walk. I felt awful for leaving her, but I couldn't take it anymore. Before this, I kept taking small breaks to smoke a cig, or get a glass of water, and tell Mary to please hurry. She had to do some computer repair for her parents. She herself didn't even know how she did it. I couldn't have. So after I came down enough, and was starting to want to sleep, I needed to go home. I didn't feel really comfortable driving, but it was the only way I was getting home. I lived 20 minutes away from Mary's, and I was so paranoid about cops. It was hard to concentrate on what speed I was going, and keeping it there. That seemed to need all my attention, but I had to watch for everything else too. But I made it. Erowid note. It is extremely irresponsible to drive while high. Driving is the most dangerous thing you do, and proactive plans should be made to avoid it in this situation. So in my opinion, if possible, start small enough to just get a body high and fry a little harder each time. Around here, if you can eat a whole eighth and not end up in jail or the hospital, you are a tough, brave soul, the kind of person everyone talks about. Ask a lot of questions. I've found if the dealer says they haven't tried them, they are probably lying and the shrooms are nothing good, but they have to get rid of them. Any dealer that's tried good ones doesn't hesitate to tell you all about how great the trip was. And any decent dealer will try his product. And whatever you do, make sure you are in comfortable surroundings, with people you are comfortable with, someone you won't be embarrassed around if you start talking to invisible people.